Hello everybody and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 19 Semifinals. We're taking another look at the Juggling Juggernauts, the Trashboat team, taking on, why so serious, the jaso7 team. Last time, the Trashboat team lost to Pos1 Tidehunter. Again. I cannot believe it. Let's see what happens this time. With me here, as always, is the Dr. Dota, Randy.
I am here.
I mean, I say as always, but really, you've only been on like a very proportionally small amount of the cast this season, haven't you?
Only live, yeah.
Yeah. And not even every week, because we
Except for
missed
that
week
1 week,
7,
yeah.
yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
And I think there was 1 week you missed as well.
Radiant team ban.
I'm here now. I'm here for the next Sunday's great competitive finals.
It's true.
Best of 3 of 50-minute games are all going to be packed full of excitement.
Absolutely. Pretty similar allotment of bands. Juggling Juggernauts going just all in on meta for the most part, outside of the Bounty Hunter. Jaso, pretty much just banning out the exact same things they did last game.
What is Pangolier? Like, I know Trashboat was the type of player to pick it, but it's terrible, isn't it? It's like awful.
It looked really like he had a game with it in the last series where he did good with it, but it was mostly because the game was spiraling massively out of control to begin with. In a more competitive game, I don't know how well it goes. You want me to start? Oh, there we go. We're gonna get the Shadow Shaman here. You want me to run down the list of viewers and have public callouts for the people who haven't said anything?
Let's hear it.
Witch Doctor, these two very boring supports. So we've got Curly Brad, which is a pretty good name. Doughboy and Giraffe both have said something. Giraffe was like, Dyer did way more damage that fight, and then had to look again. It was that one fight where I was like, they did less damage and then they won. I see La in chat, I see Manoy in chat, Ad Forum, got Space Cowboy, the Mighty Midget, Tiki, the guy who stood in a couple of times this season. Oh, Space Cowboy said something, so now it's going to look like a public call-out post that he doesn't deserve anymore, because he said it within 2 minutes. He said, "Let's go, Tristero."
Said.
It's true, he was on Space Cowboy's team this season, so makes sense. Was laning with him for a minute.
10 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
I'm not going to tell you what he said after that. Banning out the Pugnant Pitlord this time in the Trashboat team. Again, no Clockwork ban on the on Why So Serious. Oh, and there's Maceless Void, whoever the hell that is. Maceless Void, the person who will not tell us who the hell they are. I thought for a minute they might be one of the Jaso team people, but I am now very suspect that that's the case.
Could be stream sniping.
It's true. Stream sniping and ignoring draft to post emotes in chat.
Yeah, you know.
God almighty, pick the Tidehunter again.
I told you he's gonna pick it again and win with it again.
Trashboat! Trashboat, pick Lifestealer! Trashboat! Trashboat, pick the Lifestealer! Gonna pick the Clockwork.
Alright, pause the one that's coming up and it's gonna be a Ricky or something. Run it back. It'll work. It'll work this time. Run back the gyro.
5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Okay, run back the Magnus.
Oh boy. Maybe they're doing the thing I recommended where they're going to be focusing on the other side of the RP this time. That would certainly be for the best. Is this really just going to be just a repeat of the last game with one hero swapped? I guess it couldn't possibly be because the Pit Lord and the Pugna are both gone. And they didn't get the Zeus. I mean, they have the opportunity to be really funny and steal the Life Stealer here, who's probably the best option for the Radiant. And then just, I don't know, run it 3 or something. No Tide Man. Well, yeah, I mean, just because he's winning with it doesn't mean it's not terrible. It just means the teams he's facing are falling apart.
Lich Gaming.
Mostly, really, the teams he's facing are getting eaten by Kingfisher, and he is also there. That's mostly what's happening for the most part. Bringing the Lich out of the mothballs here. Really just kind of a shade of what he was last season, but look how much crazy crap they have going on in a team fight. The thing I was talking about, you know, Trashboat team has to play flighty, has to pick off one guy in the charge that I was talking about in the last game. Like, it's super big here. Like, if they get into a real team fight at this point, in a matchup that looks like this, it is painful.
And the Witchrocker was extremely valued in the last game.
Mm-hmm.
Someone just dropped out like a kid in school.
Oh, great.
That's Grace Jim.
This is her protest against me saying pick Life Stealer. Hasn't gotten any worse of a Life Stealer game. Like, you can ride or reset everything this team has with Q or ult. And you know there's not going to be an awkward 1-to-1 matchup. In fact, you have, like, maybe... I was going to say, the best possible 1-to-1 matchup. But, that might be if Jaso has a complete stroke and goes for the Puzzlem Centaur.
Necro.
Gonna pick up the Necro. It's a little bad for the Life Stealer. The Scythe can be pretty nasty to him, but it's also kind of one item to deal with that. Now, one item you can get on your supports, arguably.
10 seconds remaining.
You can either get the Lincolns.
3.
Could get the Lincolns on him. Could get the. Yeah, I think even with the nerf to it, I think even the Glimmer Cape on the supports is usually going to save a Scythe for most of the game. Or you could just end up in the situation where he ults you right after you hit Q. That's always funny.
Okay, OD.
That's interesting. They might be doing Magnus 3 OD2 here this time.
Yeah, that's Trashboat on OD, most likely.
It's a good OD game.
10 seconds.
It's a good Spectre game.
For which team? Dire?
Radiant.
Okay. I guess it is. It'd be a better Spectre game if Spectre was better, but...
Yeah, but assuming a good Spectre patch, it's a good Spectre game. And I know Gratian plays it, so it could be a hero.
10 seconds remaining.
Jesso's smoking crack if he bans the gyrocopter here. Like, absolutely let that through.
I don't think they're picking it.
Probably not, but, I mean... Oh, well,
okay, yeah, see.
Stream sniped. He heard 2 minutes into the future.
Yeah. Yeah, it just eats your supports, doesn't care about Tide, and it's kind of bad in a Necro later.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
No DK.
Radiant team pick.
No PA.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. They're calling a bluff here. They banned out the PA instead of another P3, so they're assuming it's going to be a funny mix-up here.
It might be. I mean, would they pick a pause 3 less?
Yes, they did last time.
Maybe they would. Yeah. Well, Faceless Void.
No, Jaso would. I mean,
yeah.
Last time he picked Pit Lord last.
Oh, that's true. He did. Huh. Well, it could be tied pause 1 then.
Come on.
Tied pause 3.
Come on, Trashboat. All you gotta do.
Arc Warden. Oh
what?
shit.
Oh no.
Alright. Oh
okay.
no. This Arc Warden game got from really good to really terrible in about 2 seconds.
No, it's okay. Phantom Lancer is the worst hero in the whole game.
Oh, is he? Alright, that's a good Arc Warden game. I like this Arc Warden game, actually.
He is in the trash.
Arc Warden literally eats every hero in this game except for Fiel, and if Fiel is trash, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm really worried about this Arc Warden. Like, it's gonna walk over this game.
I do think you need to be in practice with the Arc Warden, and I do believe it's been a minute since Grace Jam has been running it on the regular, but if there's no rust there, if Grace Jam is just pulling it out, then yeah, it looks like a very good Arc game. Has a lot of good things around it as well. I mean, like, the PL is the one thing that's, like, hypothetically scary for the Arc Warden, but the problem is, in a game that looks like this, the PL is strictly defensive. It's just he runs away from Arc Warden. He doesn't do anything to Arc Warden, because if he goes in on Arc Warden gets the RP right on top of his head.
And the OD ulti, and then all your illusions are dead, and you're getting targeted by stuff.
The Necro is a little worrying here. I will say that much. The only thing that it feels like does anything to this guy is if they want to drop the entire RP on it, or the OD if the OD is ahead. If OD is not ahead of the Necro, it doesn't mean anything to him. He's got to be pretty well ahead. So that is 2 cases where, okay, gonna pause. That is 2 cases where the Necro does get shut down here. So make no mistake, it's not completely impossible. But Trashboat's going to have to take and secure a pretty good lead to keep the thumb down on the guy. Or I guess he could build Nully on Arc Warden, that'd be funny. Yeah, I guess actually, yeah, that's just completely no problem, isn't it? You could just get Nully on the Arc Warden, you have the double Nully. And then that guy really struggles. I mean, it's kinda... it's kinda not the nicest thing in the world to have to drop 2 Nullies, but what can you do? Not to drop 2 Nullies, but to drop an inventory slot on Arc Warden for Nully, but you can do it.
Yep.
And if you just super don't want to do it for whatever reason, I guess you could have OD pick it up instead.
Excited. I didn't think we would ever see an Arc Warden in LD2L.
We've seen Arc Warden. Oh my god, Chobro's name is Chobro! This is crazy.
Maybe in the season, I guess.
Yeah, okay, he just changed his Steam name to this. He didn't actually get a pro name. Is Arc Warden that good into the Tidehunter, actually, thinking about it?
It doesn't matter. Tide doesn't do anything to you. Except, like, if you get ravaged and other people do things to you, that's about it.
I think the anchor's pretty bad for you. The shard thing.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be that close to him, I don't think. But
well, Ravage makes it difficult to get far, yeah.
Positioning another duel, yeah.
30 seconds.
It's like, if you don't get close, how do these fights go? You know what I mean?
I think you just wait. Which is unfortunate, but like, you wait until Ravage is used and then throw every spell at the Necro.
And hope to Jesus Christ that you don't just get, like, blown up by the Lich and the Witch Doctor.
Yep.
It's gonna be
Hope
very
they're
BKB.
Busy doing other stuff.
Yeah, it's like, there's
Busy
like a
doing
lot of
Magro
asterisks on it. It's like, if the supports are busy, and Dire feels the need to drop Ravage on something else,
You have to have OD or Magnus be such a concern that people have to hit them. It's like how you deal with it.
Even then, I don't know necessarily if you need the Ravage for those things. I think the Lich ult can do a lot of damage to the OD once that Shark comes out, because he doesn't want to drop the jail on himself. He wants to hold it for the Witch Doctor because they don't have that many good ways to stop the Death Ward here. It's pretty much just him or the Shaman Hexer Shackles, or the Clockwork. So Shaman dies early in a fight. They don't really have anything nice for that. It's gonna be up to him. I mean, it's Shaman. He's not exactly known for being John Tanky.
Yeah.
I don't know. A little hard to tell how this one's going to go at this juncture, I think. If there is one question mark on it, it's this guy, I mean. I think Pause 1 Tidehunter might be statistically a little better off, like, globally, than the PL is right now.
Sad.
Getting some hitch in here. Not really sure why. Nothing is running badly. The recording's fine and everything. Hard to tell. Very slow lane phase thus far. Mostly favoring the Dire, but well, no, it's not really gone anywhere yet. Everyone's pretty close on left hits. Always sad when you have to drop that gush to get the last hit. They pulled over here. This is like the first time in the season that we've had a pull attempt that actually like went well and didn't cause like a big problem.
Wow.
There is one thing that's changed about LTL this season. It's definitely, it feels like pulling is like a lot more of a dangerous game. I guess because, you know, with the changes to the Lotus Pool, for example, with the heroes that are in the meta, it's just dangerous sometimes to just have that stretch of time where you don't have creeps to be your bodyguard.
Right.
There's just been a lot of like pull and then lose an entire wave because you did that, pull and the pause one dies because you did that, pull and you lose Lotus for it type situations. This time, not only did they pull, they got the Lotus too. This guy, he got clock again. Nobody bans it against this team. I mean, if they lose this game, nobody will have ever banned it against this team, but
I like how both teams surprise flex to hero off lane that they picked in the last game in a different rule. It's
True.
really good.
that sounds like that sounds like the $1 million question or something. Like, First Blood finally comes out. Witch Doctor throws the coconut.
Some
Before
support
some time
discourse. An LD2L classic this season.
Just gets hammered by just too many skills coming out too short a time. Doesn't really have the HP to stand up to that at the moment. My man's getting fluxed. I don't really like, I feel like it would be a lot better if the Flux debuff would have some kind of visual effect when it's off, like on your HUD.
Yeah, but they
It's a
don't.
bit arcane.
Nobody thinks about our Gordon.
It's true. OD not having the best time thus far mid. He is up for last hits. Tied for denies, but he is down on the bars. As Necro is bullying him pretty badly. Having to use a lot of mana just to prevent just like a dive from happening at this point. But then Kingfisher can't hit these denies, so. really, there's basically only one guy on the entire map who's not hitting creeps right now, and this is Jaso. Everyone else is having a great lane phase except for him. Like, everyone else is really close to each other, has been hitting most every creep except for
Top
Jaso.
lane.
And yeah, we're looking at that now. Just once again, it's just the same deal. The Witch Doctor really just not tanky enough for this lane. Like, there's not even anything particularly crazy happening to him. It's just if the Radiant offlane hits all their buttons, then the Witch Doctor dies, and if Tidehunter tries to tower dive, he also dies.
Tower diving an Arc Warden. You silly Billy.
That's silly William to you. This is a very formal occasion, you know. Necro's come Bob with a, all he's gonna get for it is a scythe on the clockwork, which is not what you want. I mean,
Top
it's
lane,
better than
oh
nothing
my
at all, but...
God.
Oh, I didn't even see that happening. I was looking at that go up bot. At least Wilderman Beats has died.
This is actually a depressing lane. I think PL has to leave this soon.
Dire's top
Yep.
tower is under attack.
It's not looking good for the Jaso team thus far.
Like, you just have so much damage randomly thrown out, like even with the level 1 mag Q, like Shaman's constantly damaging you too.
Yeah, and because of the way the Shackles DPS works, you can't even use the raindrops to get past it. Like, you just gotta kind of eat it. Witch Doctor taking the walk of shame back here. It's obviously not, like, over for the Jaso team. This is a really rough start. And it's, you know, should be pointed out that even though there were perhaps extracurricular reasons for it, the Trashboat team did 2-0 the Jaso team on
Ted's
bracket.
about to
They were
die.
the only victors. Yep. Man, this game is awesome. I'm catching all these kills. Just none of them are interesting enough to talk about. It's just somebody walks up to a guy on the Dire, hits like 3 buttons, and then the Dire guy dies. There's no thought, no big effort, no crazy play. It's just Clockwork walks up to Tide, hits Battery Assault, and then Cogs. Tidehunter dies.
Dire's
You know what I
top
mean?
tower
You're gonna-
is under attack.
Yeah. It's kind of concerning. Especially this Arc Warden in the game having a pretty good lane.
OD with Invis going on the Necro here.
Arc
Good use
Warden.
of the jail is going to
Oh, it's
drop on his head, waste his W. And Arc Warden swoops in with the illusion to
one.
take the kill. Yeah, nicely played. Well done, Grace Jam.
Dire's courier has been killed.
They try to drop everything on the Witch Doctor again, but he actually made it through that time just without the, not him, without the Shaman there. They weren't able to get the job done. Witch Doctor, steady diet of peas at this point, which is probably for the best. Though maybe getting like a bracer in this lane would not be completely bad at this juncture. Just to keep himself alive. Chobro
he's
getting
popping
really
up.
hammered in the Clockwork Cogs here. Might be
He's dead to
dead.
Arc
Yeah,
Warden.
he's dead. Just stepped on the Arc Warden mines. Witch Doctor's come through and is almost,
Powers-
yeah,
oh.
certainly did. Just pop the Clockwork here.
Dire's
Man, that
top
double
tower is under attack.
does not last for very long these
Dire's
days, huh?
top tower has fallen.
Yeah, just up to 24 seconds at max level. That is pretty short.
Yeah, it just like gets shittier over the course of it existing.
Midas is out on the Arc Warden at this point. That's a very short duration, but at least it's a very fast cooldown now. Just 50 seconds. Clockwork, first hook shot
hook
comes
shot.
out on the Witch Doctor here. He's gonna drop the
Second hook
Maledict
shot.
and just kind of die. It was the second one?
Yeah, he hookshot the Lich earlier.
I see. Well, second hook shot is going to just completely take care of the Witch Doctor there, just very quickly.
He's literally
Again,
casting that off cooldown right now.
Dire's structures are fortified.
not looking like the nicest situation for the Jaso team, I must say. Got an entire level's advantage on the OD here, who has really started cleaning up the Necro. You know, there was a time when they were pretty much equal in last hits, and now OD has 20 on him and an assist. Look at the net worth charts; it's just all radiant. RP,
Okay.
Wilderman.
Alrighty.
Good try, little bro.
Damn.
Unfortunate.
Wilderman slightly beefs the RP and then gets the good try little pro voice line.
He might kill
Oh,
Jaso
no.
though, so
True.
no, he's not gonna kill him. I think he's a 0 kill threat right now.
Oh, he got everything but the real PL. It's funny because Jumpman was the cynic who was like, it's the worst one to get, and then Wilderman was like, no, I'm willing to try my luck, and Jumpman was right. I just kind of getting run over here.
A lot of heroes.
Necro, hit your wand and scythe. Hit your wand and scythe.
Fuck no.
Oh, but I guess it would have been a bad idea anyway with that stupid ability. Okay, now, yeah, there we go.
Okay, they're kind of. There's a bit of conga lining.
Yep. OD is the next one to show up. It is going to. That's okay, Wilderman. That's fine. You're still forecasted to win this match.
Radiant's middle tower is under
We all have rough ones, you know.
Radiant's
It's true.
structures are fortified.
That's true.
You know what they say about Magnus? It's the easiest hero to look like an idiot playing.
That is also true. That is very true.
Wait.
Oh man. This is a very postastic series.
Internet. Puppy.
True, yeah. This guy, he's so good, he put on a brave face and hasn't given up. That's true. Kingfisher is going to BRB to install scripts. I'm also going to BRB, and I'm going to hold this item list open for everybody to look at and speculate upon.
Praise the moon of Maine.
Why am I not surprised? We're still staring at this. You know, we used to Way back in the day, we'd always used to end lane phase by looking at this window, but I think they're kind of chat to pick Arc in an elimination game. True.
Hey, there's a game 3, I'm gonna have to BRB in between games. Look at what you've done, Trashboat.
True. Ad forum talking about how this is a good PL game. Yeah, I think if PL wasn't like the worst hero in the game right now, basically, then this would be like a really awesome looking game for the Jaso team. And it might be to the point where it's like maybe it still does work, but everybody can see my push to talk key now. It might be a situation where, despite all that, it still does work, but I am kind of hesitant to say anything is a good PL game right now. Oh, Grace Jam is apparently having major connection issues.
Okay.
That's
I
interesting.
remember during LD2L finals a couple finals back, I had to do that.
Very nice, yeah. And he didn't even go to game 3, he just sat it out.
Is under attack.
It was,
And that was
Reedy
the only interesting game.
series. Reedy Hollywood, I think.
Yeah. You were like, I'm not gonna watch this. Reedy's just gonna stomp, it's gonna be boring.
Well, stand in Mania.
What can you
It's
do?
going wild.
Necro has Sacred Relic at this point if he wants it. Middle has gone
Okay.
missing if
I
they
got a
want
ward trapped watermelon.
it. Yeah, but he's a very trapped watermelon between two circles. Goodbye. Here's a, well, that would have been an awesome death ward, but the Trashboat got it immediately. Hit him with a fastball, took out a lot of HP, he's
Very
gone.
dead.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is
Shielder
under
went up
attack.
on. Very annoyingly, there's a sun glare right now happening to my monitor. The glare from the sun outside is making a big bright spot on it that I can't really see, and that spot is on the minimap. So that's going to be annoying temporarily.
There's no sun outside where I am.
True.
Just rain.
Aren't you in the sunshine state? What the hell? False advertising or what?
It is false advertising right now, yeah.
With the Witchblade on the OD here, they're... Yeah, they're looking at the Tide Hunter here. This is a really tough kill. I think without the clockwork. I think that's why they were able to get it so effectively last time.
Middle tower is
And yeah, the Witch Doctor is going to come in and kind of ruin this.
Scupper that, yeah.
Maelstrom out on the Arc Warden.
Oh, okay, he's dead.
Oh no, I guess if they're going to drop the OD ult and he's going to stay for a really long time, then it's going to be just fine. Killing the Tide Hunter there.
Dive's looking really fractured right now. I don't know.
Yeah, they're not
Their
not
hero's
really
making
playing.
plays.
Yeah.
That's two.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It's usually not a good sign.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Tide Hunter coming back in. Round 3, baby. I mean, really, it's round 5, but recently it's round 3. The guy has died, you know, twice in the last few minutes. Oh no, the Centaur!
Nice. Black hole.
Actually interrupted the Lich Gaze, too, so...
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Arc Warden closing in rather quickly on that Mjolnir. It's a big farm accelerant getting that Maelstrom. PL, on the other hand, has a Midas.
It does. Orcorn also has a Midas and another item.
Yep. Yeah, that is true. Dire playing vaguely around bot lane here, but... think their chances to actually do something are pretty limited at the moment. What?
That's the tough Iron Talon.
What do you mean, Lich? That's a cool quick buy. Where's his courier at? I can't. I'm not
What?
allowed
What is he buying?
to.
Hold up.
He's buying the ultimate
Buying,
orb
it could
straight.
be Ice Scotty, or it could be Helm of the Overlord, or it could be like.
Helm of the Overlord is still in the game? I haven't seen that item in
Apparently.
years.
Apparently, it's still in the game. Yeah, I literally have not seen this item since at least before
Dire's middle
COVID.
tower is under attack.
Very nice. Out of the raw ultimate orb, cute. That's
Is this a
very
Lincoln
strange.
game? I don't know anything about this.
Dire's
Maybe.
middle tower is under attack.
I mean, yeah, it's not about Lincoln's game. It's just, you know, he's gonna get Lincoln's in about 4,000 hours. Nerd. That's not nice.
God is us.
Dire's
You gotta
middle
mentally
tower
boom him
is
as well as
under
astral imprison him, you know?
And he didn't get the tower, though. That still got denied.
Dire's bottom
Yeah, that's
tower
true.
is under
So
Mentally
you get the
booming
middle
doesn't work out
boom,
all
you
the
get
time.
you get the middle boom, you get the astral imprisonment, you get no tower.
Lemon Beats says, are you gonna bridge too far here? Oh, he's fine for some reason.
Grace Jam interrupted the, oh man, this Tidehunter means nothing. Oh no,
Oh.
I knew that wasn't gonna work out. Kingfisher going for the very optimistic side.
Oh my
Doesn't find
God,
it.
this RP!
3-man RP into the Necro ult. The Radiant's still gonna lose the fight though. Kind of, I
Yeah,
guess.
this Necro,
No, they're gonna be fine.
Radiant's
Yeah.
Everybody on the Radiant got
Yeah.
really low and then didn't die, and now
Radiant's
Kingfisher's kind of,
fortified.
he's fine.
gotta hide.
They're not committing. That's kind of
Radiant's
strange.
top
Yeah, it
tower
looks
is
very
falling.
disjointed right now.
1,355 gold for the Radiant, 503 for the Dire, virtually all in the Necro.
Like, we have pub game spells flying around, especially on jaso team. Like, it's just everyone's using spells without coordinating them.
Yeah,
Like, the Ravage was not coordinated with anything, the Scythe was not coordinated with anything. Like, it's very strange. Like, the Lich ulti was on one person. I don't know.
Grace Jam interrupted the Mjolnir there to get travels, and now Necro has a matching set. But so someone's gonna have to change.
That's true.
No, G-Raff is making fun of my push to talk button in chat.
Radiant are scanning.
BL getting somewhat close to a Manta style. Somehow the Diffusal Blade seems to have been a farming cylinder. I guess probably just using the Midas off cooldown has been a farming accelerant. Probably more accurately. And it started to really catch up to the Arc Warden, who felt like they had a very insurmountable lead for a while. Now only 400 gold separates them. And not the T1 bot for Radiant, because Jaso knocked that one down. Clockwork has an Orchid. Pretty big pickup. The OD's kind of starting to fall off the face of the world here. Really doesn't have anything more. I think taking that spill...
because it's kind of too early for that to happen and be comfortable.
Yeah, taking that awkward spill in the last fight. The fight was a win for them, but I think him personally taking the spill kind of slowed down his momentum there. So now he's trailing the Necro. Dire Shrine of Wisdom activated. Magnus just throwing himself at the Necro for no reason. Necro does not realize there's a jump man right there. He doesn't care. He's gonna just go to town on the Magnus. Not quite gonna get him though. The jump man's now going to have to jump out of his pre-positioned situation just to Try and intervene. Oh my god, the Magnus barely TP's out faster than the
Necro's
Necro
dead.
gets him, and Necro's dead. Rest in peace.
Fortunate. Again, like he's just making a play without any of his team really being with him.
Yeah. Again, maybe Kingfisher
gameplay.
hasn't. Maybe Kingfisher hasn't played the Necro in a minute because he keeps dropping these scythes too early. Like that's 2 fights in a row where he drops the scythe on somebody who's not actually going to like die of it yet. Which is pretty awkward. I'm gonna do that. You're gonna need like a Kai or something, my friend, not a Yules.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, well, Yules it will be.
Or just be funny and get the Dagon, which I think is a lot more acceptable on Necro than a lot of people give it credit for.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I'm not really 100% sure. I mean, the item isn't great right now. I'm guessing that's probably at least a small part of it, but it's like... So you get this thing, it gives you a decent chunk of intelligence, which is nice. It gives you spell lifesteal on a hero that really likes to gain health with skills, which is nice. And it lets you seal the deal on scythes. The only thing it doesn't do is help you deal with somebody who has a BKB on the other team, but if you're like worrying about that on Necro, you're worrying about that on the wrong guy to begin with. PL has his Manta style now.
Yeah, there's that.
1,000 gold has opened up between him and Grace Jam, though. Doing great. Got a gathering around
Also,
bot
that's
here.
minus golden, so.
Looking for Wilderman Beats, but they're kind of going to find Trashboat instead. But they don't have... Tidehunter, you were positioning like you had a Blink Dagger, my friend. That was way too far back. As a result, the Radiant's going to be able to just right-click Fountain and get out of there.
Yep.
This time,
Oh,
Necro's going to
Trashboat.
go for the OD here.
Get the mag play.
Radiant
Yeah, they go
Nice
for the
one.
mag play. They brought the Grace Jam into it, but I think this is
He's
bait.
not dying.
Oh man, the Scythe once again just barely didn't get the job done, but this time it doesn't matter quite as much.
Oh
That
no.
was a huge play by Kingfisher there. I don't know whether he realizes that or not. He just baited everybody massively. He just made them think. I get maybe
Yeah.
that's a play. You just make them think that you're just going to be running down lanes, throwing skills at people, just like a rabid dog, all solo. Because I'm very convinced they just did that thinking that Jaso was long gone and nobody else was in the area.
has fallen.
Notably, they did not have any vision in their jungle here. Just a sentry.
Pretty sick.
And they got Grace Jam to just reveal right on the wave there, throw all the skills, get ravaged, get dead.
And check
very
that
quickly.
net worth out.
Yep. Has now swung to the Jaso team's favor. I guess a trade like that'll do it for you.
And again, if PL is like a hero, then Aragorn hates it. So it's
Yeah.
a little bit of a problem here, a little bit of an issue.
A little precarious, yeah. Now, it should be said that I don't necessarily know if fights are going to go like that if the Radiant doesn't all throw all their skills on Necro and not even kill him.
Yeah, well. For want of Zeus ult.
Yeah, there you go.
Radiant are scanning.
Radiant scan out the Tormentor, find nobody home. Necro actually just started to sell old parts to try and hurry this Yule Scepter up a little bit. Finding nobody there. Trashboat and company. Well, I was going to say, decide to smoke to Tormentor, but Trashboat decides to smoke to the lane next to the Tormentor. And, it wasn't even there, Dire gets it. It's easy to forget that for some reason Knight is Radiant for Tormentor. Really strange decision.
Yeah, well, I guess to balance the Roche thing,
Yeah, there you go.
like that is the same value objective.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Jumpman and the fake Arc Warden
Dire's
Bastion
structures are
towers here at
fortified.
top. And Jumpman actually microed his Lords there. Did you see that? That was crazy.
I did.
As a result, with very little input, half of this top tower, top T2 for Dire, is going to disappear. Not Trashboat, Tidehunter. Two very different things. One of those is a real person, you know. Tidehunter's gonna TP top to try and take care of it, but doesn't even get there in time to take anything. Just awkwardly late. Necro Yule's finally out. Going to engage in a bit of smoke chicanery here with the Witch Doctor, but they don't really know where anybody is, and the only person who's kind of like around to do anything to is the Magnus, who you're unlikely to kill to begin with, and is
Alright.
not going to be putting themselves in a position.
Kingfisher's walked into Trashboat.
Yep. He
Response.
dodges the silence with the Yules there. It's going to scythe the Clockwork. They got the Odie mostly dead before the Magnus intervention, but the Magnus just wasn't able to do enough. Odie ult on 5, but
no.
nobody's actually used any of their mana yet.
Radiant's
Kind of
top tower
awkward.
is under attack.
That's Radiant, it looks super disjointed.
Yeah. 1,605 net worth for the Dire. 467 gold falls out of the Radiant's pocket, so about 2k gold changes hands here. And they're going to test their luck and just go
Storm
straight
uphill.
uphill here.
Is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Nice.
the Magnus gets 2
There's a
under the
Magnus in the
T4
game.
here. Is going to catch the Necro and the Tidehunter, but unfortunately one of
This is
those
an
guys is
insane
Tidehunter,
fight.
so he's just able to get out.
Radiant's top
Bad news for any fans of the fake Arc Warden here, it's dead.
Dire's courier has been killed.
And
Dire's
much
top
ado about
tower
nothing,
is
the
under
Dire
They-
just take a chunk of the T3, get no kills, and then leave.
They took a fight at the cursed spot and didn't all die, which is surprising.
Now they might all die. The Witch Doctor caught under the
Oh my
shadow
God,
of
Switch
the
Doctor.
Tormentor here. Hit the Voodoo Switcheroo, but unfortunately was microing towards the wrong target. Was microing towards the Magnus who wasn't going to die, or the Tide who wasn't going to
Yeah.
die, or maybe he will.
Now
No,
we
it
have
wasn't
two
Magnus.
different Dire heroes dying on the retreat and
Yeah.
completely different altercations.
No, in the same altercation, just a very wide version of it. Poor retreat from the Dire. For as good as the actual pull out there was, very poor retreat with the people who needed to stay TPing and the people who needed to TP staying.
Yep.
So that basically just undoes the entire last fight, just swings the 2k gold right back to the Radiant here. Mostly to OD. Heart on the Phantom Lancer. He's going for a Revenant's Brooch next, interestingly. Necro looking for a Strength Blank. This guy is very keen on not doing any damage, I guess. Just being very tanky, which I guess makes sense thus far. I mean, most of the bad things that have happened to the Radiant thus far have been in the category of we threw everything at the Necro and it didn't do anything.
Yep.
Everyone walking at the Necro here. They're gonna get caught by a range creep. No, they're not. They're smoked, but
Radiant are scanning.
Scan
Radiant
that.
scan out triangle. They're gonna walk right into the Witch Doctor here. A bit of
Okay.
miscommunication. The
Awkward.
Witch Doctor
Radiant's middle tower
gets to live that. The oh man, just an awkward, disjointed fight. Hard to tell exactly what's going on in any capacity. They trade Lich for Clockwork here. Necro is now coming into the fight on a weird flank. Is going to get hexed immediately and almost die.
Oh.
Uses Yules to dodge the ult from the OD, but then he just gets hit by the Magnus. The Magnus just kind of ignores him, and he's allowed to live for a minute longer.
This is... Oh man.
The latest
Fighting
Ravage in a
everything
team fight in
disastrous right now.
history. They see Grace Champ, can't do anything about that.
Almost got anchored.
3 for 2 there, more or less a stalemate favoring the Dire with how it turned out. Revenant's Brooch now out on the Phantom Lancer. Okay. What a bluff that was. No, not the fake Arc Warden.
Radiant fighting literally looks like a pub team that has no communication. Like 5 people in a pub game, not texting, not even texting, not on mic.
Again,
It's
another
very
one of
strange.
these weird pseudo uphill pushes where PL just kind of like donks a little bit of health off, and then that's that. Wave of the Catapult's going to shear a little bit more health off of the top T3. Next time Dire decisively wins a fight, there's a pretty good chance that they're able to just take 2 buildings, but
Yep.
gonna be a bit more decisive than the last one. He's going for the Aghanim Scepter on the PL now. Just wants another big thing that's gonna bounce around in fights, I guess. SNK on the Magnus, thinks he's had that for a minute. Got the Ags on the OD. Which, boy, is that a novel or what?
Classic, yeah. It sure does something, that's for sure.
I guess Scotty coming out pretty soon on the Arc Warden, just trying to target the Necro there with that, I think. Tynunner going into Shivas has built the Veil of Discord, but would rather have the Soul Ring in his inventory than that. Not really sure why, but you do you. Witch Doctor Ag's nearly completed. You'll taking the stacks here.
Radiant are scanning.
Radiant scan out Roche. It's not a bad guess, but it's not correct either. Very close to that, so who's that? Clockwork on patrol, they're looking for the quick kill on the Lich. Probably the best way to claw this one back as the Radiant is just go for the knees, go for the support line. They have really good ability to quickly pick off the Lich or the Witch Doctor if they find them.
Yep.
Necro very close to the strength blink. Arc Warden has the Eye of Scotty.
It's awkward, I guess, because OD exists to delay a fight. Like, basically, you delay a fight with Astral, and that's how every fight almost starts. And then, you know, PL likes delayed fights. Like, Necro likes delayed fights. It's kind of unfortunate how it's playing out.
Yeah, and the Magnus likes non-delayed fights, so we've already seen a little bit
Yeah.
of weird anti-chemistry between those two. Take a look at the arc here. Drumman wants him. Power wants him. Neither are going to get him. He's just going to blink out. Okay, Kingfisher has lost his mind going for this. Goes in on the Clockwork here. I think he thought he was the one that was in the Astral there. He was not.
Sick.
Clockwork getting scythed out. Necro now at 5 stacks. So that's 22 HP and 11 mana regen. That's the real Arc Warden that's getting a little awkwardly close to this. Still have this stupid T2 here at mid.
Oh, Kingfisher?
Yeah, Kingfisher going to town here. They're going to drop the ult on the Arc Warden here.
Oh my,
Going to die. Big Magnus RP has 5,
oh my god.
and it's just
Holy.
a massive disaster. But not as massive
They're
as this.
still losing the fight? Oh no.
Um,
Can't be.
4 for 3? I guess
What?
it's really a 3 for 3 because the Clockwork was already dead before that had happened.
Radiant's middle tower has
Oh my.
fallen.
They still lost that. I could cry.
No, they won that. They walked away with about $500 more. And if Jaso's not careful, they're gonna walk away with him too. Okay. Sticking around very low HP.
I guess it's sort of still maybe because they can't uphill based on that. I guess
Yeah.
too many people. I feel like Kingfisher died again, and that's such a massive part of their team.
Yeah. Well,
They
you
will try anyway, though.
you claimed they can't uphill, but I'm seeing evidence to the idea that might not be true.
They can't.
Okay, yeah, they can't. Goodbye, Jaso.
As seen here. They can, but that doesn't mean they won't try, you know?
There you go.
Radiant are scanning.
And it's actually going to be 5 because they catch Witch Doctor on the exit. You
A
could
very
call
delayed
this a
5,
misplay. Yeah, there we go.
Slight misplay by Jaso, yeah, a little bit. Misjudged.
Axe misjudged. Axe let the Clockwork through again. Why did Axe not ban this? So that's 2,383 gold swing. See, my god, look at that shark go! That's crazy. So at one point, the Radiant had a 7k net worth advantage. Before that fight, Dire had a 9k net worth advantage, and now we're back to just 5. They're going to take down
And an
Erosion in
80%
record
chance to win
time.
the game. It was 80-20, now it's 65.
Gonna give
35.
the Aegis to Odu, which is probably the right call. This guy's been dying very quickly in fights. He could buy BKB, but he's saving for buyback here. Probably the right call, because even with that being said, the next time Radiant decisively loses a fight, it's over. And when I say it's over, I mean it's really over for this team. It is as over as it can
meaning
possibly
series
be.
over, season over, yeah.
Yeah. Pressure orb
But,
queued
yeah.
up on the Tidehunter.
They win a
Dire's
couple
middle
fights in a
tower is
row.
under attack.
Yeah, I mean, they're still facing a hero that's, like, basically not a hero.
Knock the PL off balance.
Going to shave off a lot of this Dire mid T2.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Everyone was very scared of this, but it turns out the Radiant had all left. They're all in the bottom part of the map right now.
Yeah.
Ag's out on the Witch Doctor. He's going for BKB here.
I was meant to have this.
Kingfisher queuing up a heart. Again, guys, like, who cares if I do no damage? I'll just be the tankiest man alive.
Yeah. Doesn't need to do damage.
It's true. Magnus going fishing there, doesn't find anything. Both teams smoke out here. Neither team finds anything.
They're walking
pings.
somewhat close to each other. See that courier.
Kind of following it the wrong way. They captured the outpost. So, you know, that's down now. They have a very flippant attitude towards their T3 tower here, which is about to die. If Dire knew that, like, vaguely where Radiant was right now, they would actually just get this thing for free, and they're just, yeah, they did get the thing for free, and they didn't even know.
Okay. A little
Not
bit
really
unfortunate.
what happened. Radiant are just guessing with this scan. Not far from Kingfisher. Kingfisher very distant from anybody on his team. is kind of alerting people to his presence by dragging a bunch of camps around. Tidehunter found the Shadow Shaman, but walked under a sentry ward, so Shaman found him too. He is very dead looking.
Yeah.
He might ult when he gets out of this. Nope, he knows not to do that.
He tanks an OD ult, so there's that.
Both teams in this very disjointed play. It feels like both teams are panicking right now, basically.
Radiant are scanning.
Like, it is very obvious from watching this play. At the very least, Liquid Jopa and Kingfisher really don't know what they should be doing right now. Both just making these awkward, pointless maneuvers that aren't really beneficial to them.
Yeah,
Tidehunter
like
dying of
on the
this.
other hand, Trashboat team is wasting his Aegis.
1 minute 13 left, likely to no avail. They got BKB up on the Arc Warden now. They got Heart up on the Necro. Jumpman has spent so much of this game in trees next to Dire, guys, waiting for the moment he can jump out
Getting
on.
looked at.
Yeah? Ooh, that's scary.
Oh, he missed. Unfortunate.
Trashboat's not through. He should be. This is a very poor move. Gonna get the Tidehunter to TP up here at least. Where is, like, what is this? What is going on with this? What's going on with this? What's going on with that? Like, we're prepping for a fight on the Jaso team with 3 guys, and then 2 people are casually farming waves, including the Witch Doctor. Like, what is this?
You like that? It's really good.
Dire are scanning.
Dire scan out the secret shop. That's kind of close to where the Radiant are retreating. Mines are gonna meet here. Trashboat's going to walk into the Necro the moment his Aegis expires.
He is
The
dying.
time for Necro to do something was like a minute ago. Going to get rid of the clockwork here. Just ice him out with the bonus damage from the Shiva's Guard. Lich Ult is going to very nearly take out the Shadow Shaman. The PL will come in from the back line to finish the job.
Again, they can't kill Kingfisher.
Yeah, just such a great go on him and nothing done. They have Wilderman beats in a pretty compromising
They don't have a
position.
tower
Not
here.
as compromising as Trashboat's position, though. He's dead.
Oh no!
He
They don't
does have
a tower.
buy.
Oh
He has
my!
buy, the Arc Warden has buy, the Magnus has buy, but they really hate to
It
do
all
that.
goes back to that tower dying. You see that shit?
Yeah,
Radiant's top barracks.
PL using his abilities to just keep them guided. Like they can. Oh man, Kingfisher, you maniac, you psychopath. They're getting dangerously close to being fountain chargeable.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Instead he's going to go for the PL here. PL is
Not
going to
gonna
say,
die.
no thank you, I just want to kill the Arc Warden illusion, thanks.
Oh,
And Magnus die back, Trashboat die back.
game dieback. Series dieback.
Radiant's middle tower
Yeah, probably. And maybe Arc Warden supports can pull out some kind of crazy miracle here. But I'm not really counting on it.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's ancient is under attack.
Hey, okay, I was gonna say they're gonna just drop it on old power again. No such luck this time. No such luck this time. He's gonna go down and spawn. The Arc Warden illusion is going to come out and just get hammered. They're gonna try and bring the real Arc Warden out too. Jaso is stunned in the taking fountain shots, but they just dropped a scythe on. Oh my god.
That's it.
Trashboat calls the G's, we're going home. It's all over. So that was an oh no, he has that awful voice clip. So that's an interesting look at this team, and its potential weaknesses in the road to final, because I think this is a very awkward game on both sides. It didn't really feel like either of these teams were really firing on full cylinders. It is this game 3? No, this is game 2. 2-0 for Jaso. It felt like that was just two teams panicking. That's what it felt like to me. It was two teams panicking, and it felt like the only guy in the whole game. No, the only guys, because I'll give Chobro credit here too. The only guys in this whole game who really had their head on straight, it felt like, were Jaso and the Chobro, the Lich. Everyone else felt like they were just kind of in a weird spot, doing the wrong thing at the wrong time, just doing something weird somewhere weird. You know what I mean? Just lots of like really disconnected, uncoordinated plays. It felt like, in particular, poor Wilderman Beats must have been really feeling it on the Magnus. There's just like a lot of these just weird, awkward miscues. I mean, he had like the one really cool RP at their tier, in the shadow of the ruins of their tier 2 mid. But outside of that, it was like a lot of like myth charges, a lot of miss skewers, a lot of miss Qs. Didn't miss any of the RPs, so that's good. There were no 0-man RPs this game, at least not that I noticed, but hell, it's not like it mattered all that much when many of the RPs were just on the Necro alone and he lived. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
Felt like he was off, felt like the team as an institution was off, just kind of taking weird fights at weird times. Like, a lot of piecemeal, a lot of Arc Warden assuming that things were cool and getting blown up. I don't know. Before I do the post-season rundown, because I know people tend to start turning out when I do that. Like I said, I'm going to have I'm going to post out my endorsements for the All-Star vote shortly after this game. So look forward to that. This will be up by the end of tonight. Good chance this series is too on YouTube. So we'll be putting out my All-Star endorsements. Like I said, even though I put so much effort into making the actual vote not biased, I certainly will not be unbiased towards it now. And if you haven't voted already, like I said earlier, go out and vote. Even if you're like a stand-in or just somebody who's just watching the league this season, it's totally fine. So I think the All-Star vote is a lot more fun when more people do it. So go out there and vote. Don't vote often. You can only do it one time, though. Anyway, it's now time for the post-season rundown for the juggling juggernauts. It felt like this team was like the hit or miss team. It felt like the most like volatile team in the whole league, perhaps. You know, back in week 1, these guys won 1 to the original Chun lineup, and then in I think it was week 5 or week 6, they 2-0'd the Jaso lineup, right? Like, one team did both of those things. Last week, the Trashboat team was just like walking all over the average bean team. Nobody was sweating, nobody was thinking about anything. This time, it felt like they just kind of collapsed into a heap here. It did feel like they never really got over their issues as a unit, unfortunately. It felt like, basically speaking, it felt like this team never really moved much, and it was just kind of down to draft disparities and if Trashboat was going to be on a hero that he was going to do well with or that he was going to roll with. If he was on a hero he was going to roll with, he rolled. If he was on a hero he was going to do well with, his team lost. That's pretty much how it felt like it went. And I would cover the way this team hasn't moved, but I feel like that's better suited for the individuals. So, Randy, who should I cover first?
Do 5-1.
Do 5-1? No, that's lame.
Nah, come on. You gotta follow the rules of the guess.
No, I'm going. Fine, then I'm just going to do it in random, arbitrary order at my own whim.
Yeah, even better.
So let's start out with Power, the new guy, and on the team this season, the newest of the guys. I mean, I think this is Wildeman's first season here as like a full timer. Maybe Grace Chan was here a long time ago, but I think she's basically all RD2L. So you have a few new guys on this team, but nobody's newer than Power, who's also new to this role. Uh, I thought Power had a very similar season that Blackwater did his first time here, where his pool was limited, but it did feel like he picked up the basics pretty well. So there's that. If you want to make a career as a pro Clockwork player, I do think there's something in it for you. I do think there is a future. Um, I don't know. Does this guy even buy support items? I don't think I remember seeing. Okay, he did. In fact, he bought virtually all of them. So, not virtually all of them. He basically went half and half with the Jumpman, so that's good. But work on the ward maps. It did feel like they had a big vision deficiency in both of these games. Unfortunately, just lots of times where it's like better intel would have done a lot for them. Work on that ward map, which I mean, you're where you're pretty much expected to be for a guy who has played support this infrequently. Or I don't know, just see if you can by some stroke of good fortune play the role you actually want to play next time. Who knows? So yeah, there's that for Power. Up next is Grace Jam. This seemed like to me. I'm not in Grace Jam's head, but it seemed to me like there was a bit of attempt at de-rusting going on for Grace Jam this season. I don't know to the exact full degree that it worked. Like the Arc Warden game was a bit awkward here, for example. It did definitely feel like there were some fights where it's just like the real Arc Warden is just awkwardly close to the enemy team and then just suddenly gets found, suddenly gets picked. It felt like almost average peen style, especially that Drow. It felt like we saw a very different Grace Jam on the Drow than on the rest of the heroes in the lot. And in the capacity of a season, that's great. But I think it would not be a bad idea to try to get back to speed, to try and get back to work on some of those BC string heroes, right? To try and spread out your D-Rust in the pubs, you know. The Drow is like fine. A couple of the other heroes are like fine. Check my previous cast for that, so I don't have to remember them off the top of my head right now. But the some of the like B and C guys, they did still feel rusty. So I think you're good. You're well underway on that front, but still feel like you're kind of there. Randy, who's next? I've now completely eliminated the ability to go 5-1.
Damn. Well, I don't remember who the other players are, and I closed the game.
Oh,
Trashboat.
okay,
That's one I
Trashboat.
know.
Trashboat. Very volatile, very hit or miss this season, and the hitting and missing always seem to come back to you. The story of the season did kind of feel like this whole team's fortunes were just always tied to you. It never really felt like Wildeman or Grace Jam. If Grace Jam got the Drow in like a decent Drow game, or got the Spectre in the patch where that was super good. In particular, it felt like Grace Jam could kind of solo carry, but it did feel like, it's a flashback back to the first season we were here almost. Very Panic at the Roast Pit style experience with this team, perhaps, where if Trashboat personally was not doing good, the team just didn't either. And I do feel like there is like a bit of pool issue there. I do feel like a part of it is just there's just a lot of Trashboat heroes that aren't very good right now. I think he took a pretty long break as well between the most recent season and the last time he was like around Dota 2 basically. So that probably didn't help much. Um, Definitely a better orchestrated team this time around. So as a captain, nothing but thumbs up there because like the last Trashboat team was it wasn't very good. It didn't look good. There was that like incident where he was going around in people's DMs in like week 4, uh, acting like he was about to just I believe I said before with the mindset somebody usually has before they write a manifesto and then but not this time. It felt like this team went a lot better. I think it surpassed my expectations because I kind of saw this and I was like, well, you got a rebuilder, you got a guy with a very Viper-centric pool. Um, the it felt like these guys are going to struggle to do well, but no, they actually did have a bunch of good games. They got that major upset on the Jaso lineup, so much better team this time. Statistically speaking, I guess that means next time Trashboat captains, if the rate of improvement continues, then he's going to win. Okay, who's next? You got your options are Wilderman, Beats, and Jumpman.
Yeah, Wilderman, and then Jumpman.
Wilderman, I made the joke about, the Viper being 3/5 of your picks and everything many times during the season, but if you actually look at your stats, you can see that your hero pool right now is very horizontal. And in a way, that's very good. But there are definitely some threes that I think you should lean into more if you want to be picking them in a league like this. I don't think every pause 3 hero is something that you're going to be able to bring out of the box with just a few dozen games, right? Especially a few dozen games that are very spread out over a pretty long period of time. Even when he saw you, it never felt like we saw Wilderman outside of maybe this game. It felt like we never really saw you flop, per se. But it also never felt like you had like an awesome game. Even when you were on the very comfort heroes, like even when you were on the Viper, it still didn't feel like, oh, this is Wilderman's number one hero. You don't want to let him have this thing because he's gonna run over. No, it was like it was a solid B plus Viper, and that's kind of like every hero in the Wilderman Beats pool is very wide, falls somewhere between that like B and C level. Um, and I think maybe there's a good degree to which that works out for you, but I do think you saw the effects of it in this season, especially because there's times when when like 3 as a role is kind of weak, and I think when 3 as a role is weak, you need to find a more of a niche. You need to find a strength to really lean on as a player and jump all in on that, right? Um, Either in those classic Blink initiators, in the utility pool, in like the big tanky aura guys pool, somewhere in there, you gotta find where your strengths as a player are. Because right now it feels like it will be very hard pressed. Like very solid all rounder player, but without like a hero you can really lean in on, without a hero you can really get the enemy team sweating, you're not going to catch bans, and it's going to be, I think, kind of a situation where it's like if you get even a little rusty on a hero, then it can get kind of disastrous. Like if you don't play a hero for too long and then you start skewering nothing and missing your cues, for example, find the niche, lean in. Jumpman, you're not a support player. That's as simple as it gets. You could feel how bad Jumpman wanted to be 3 this season this time around. You could kind of feel how bad he wanted to be 3 when he was with the Hollywood team going mid. But you can really feel how bad Jumpman wanted to be pos 3 this season. You could see it in the last game. Like, the way that Jumpman was positioning and the way that he was playing in the last game would make kind of like perfect sense for like how, say, like a Slardar would want to be positioning and going in on people, right? Not the Shadow Shaman quite so much. Like the whole just sitting in the trees most of the time, except when you come out to drop snakes on the tower and just waiting for the ambush thing. Doesn't feel like doesn't really. It feels like a 3-player plan 4. That's what it really feels like to me in this particular game. That's where it feels like you're at right now. Felt like when they nerfed the Nyx, it was kind of over for you. Especially, like, when the Nyx got hit last patch, it felt like we just saw you go from, like, killing people every game to being there every game. If you want to stick more on 4, I would say the best place to look is Doctrine. Is, like, practicing with your positioning on these, like, how you orchestrate a fight as a 4, how you go through, the process of actually having a fight as boss 4. To some degree, I think the itemization is mostly fine. Well, there is a degree to which the itemization is going to come into it, but I think it's mostly the playstyle is very... You're still stuck in 3M playstyle, so it's time to either diversify your investment and start picking up more varied playstyles on the different roles, or it's time to start saying, hey, please draft me 3 in your player sign-up or something. I don't know. That's the way I see it. And it was kind of the team's weakness to the end, is that you had Power, who was just kind of learning support, and you had Jumpman, who was not really support, and you had like vision problems. You had problems with these guys getting picked off at like really bad times, like to the end of the season. Now here we are. I think that's all there is to say about that. Randy, you got anything to add to any of this nonsense?
I know, see you in finals.
If you or somebody, I guess, yeah, if you're going to finals, yeah, if you're the Gotham team and you're trying to go to finals, I guess this will be the last word for you then. Keep an eye on this team, like how they get when that pressure turns on, because when that pressure turned on, I think you did see some of the guys on the Jaso team start to lose a step. I did think you saw the organization of the lineup take a noticeable dip. And if you're on a team, if you can keep that together somehow, not fall for the same issue yourself, and be on a team that can kind of punish that, because Radiant really wasn't. If you're on a team that can kind of punish that, um, then you can do a lot, perhaps. Maybe you do have a
Since
shot after all.
you're a very PMA team where everyone is on the same page and loves each other, and
Yeah. If you or anybody you know wants to learn Dota 2 at a casual or more competitive level, go to ld2l.gg today to sign up. If the fact that next week was finals didn't tip you off, it's too late to get into this season. But next season, probably not too long from now, in-houses are going to be happening during the downtime. Queues popping everywhere that you look. All kinds of fun happening. ld2l.gg today. Click the link to the Discord server. That's where all the action's happening. And we will see you next week to put this whole season to bed.